You were very frustrated with me again.
No, I was really patient.
You have no empathy. You're not a good teacher with me.
I also feel like you don't listen.
I'm trying to like tread lightly here because
Some people say like we're joined a cult.
some people think we're like toxically positive or something.
They're probably going to advise against it.
It would be very challenging for me to not be able to carry my baby. Does the audience know about that time?
I don't know.
if we've talked about it or not. We're having therapy right now.
Honestly, I feel like Hawaii is...
I feel like I've been really emotional lately. I don't know why.
You're going to grow your ovaries back?
I'm not sure the internet's ready for that. I'm so incredibly proud of both of us, but me especially. The hottest topic at the moment is whether we are actually going to move to Australia. And the truth is, welcome back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Today we are joined with a very highly sought after guest. Oh, so big.
Boy, you're not going to have much to say.
Aww.
Come on. Out.
Good boy, Oso. Oso's been so happy to see us. We're back in Canada, as you could tell. We're home.
Don't knock any of the tripods.
We were gone from Oso for like 2 months, which I feel like is perhaps the longest we've ever left him. He was in really good hands. Good boy. Okay, well, welcome back to Canada. We're back in our studio. We're adjusting but not adjusting to the time.
I'm sorry if I'm a little low energy today, guys. Like,
Yeah.
Frank it's like day 9 now, and she's jet lagged, and it's not going well.
Like our Oso.
Is this tonight's festivities?
This is 10 p.m. jet lag festivities.
Wee!
1 a.m. We are rearranging the fridge.
Yeah. The thing with a baby and jet lag is it's completely different to an adult. With an adult, you say, power through. Tomorrow you can have some coffee. We're going to get up before you want to get up, and we're going to have a day. Doesn't matter what routine we give Frankie currently.
No.
We could let her sleep. We could not let her sleep. We could do it from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. That kid is practicing her words. She's stacking her baby dolls. She is saying outside.
Last night she was working on her pronunciation of elephant, which is pretty incredible. Like, she's lying in bed going, elephant, elephant, elephant. It's very cute.
I don't want to sound like that mom who's like, my kid is so smart, but my kid is so smart. She's 15 months and out of nowhere.
She'll repeat anything. Like, she'll give anything a go.
Anything. And she's normally really, really good. Like the other day, she's saying mermaid. She's
Rocket
pointing
ship.
at an octopus. Oh my gosh, we're going down the slide at the park, you, me, and her. And I go 3, 2, 1. She goes, blast off. I'm like, she learned that in swimming lessons like one time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just been so much fun with her.
I feel like she left as a baby and has come back as a toddler.
I couldn't agree more. That's
All of
a
our
really
parents
good
are
way of
saying that too.
Yes.
Like, they're just blown away at her.
Yes.
Because her walking is dialed in now.
Speech
is
crazy.
incredible.
She counted to 10 the other day out of nowhere. She can sing the ABCs almost, especially if you like support her.
She counted to 14.
And then walked away. She was like, mic drop, 14. So yeah, we are proud, happy parents. And I feel like travel was so good for us. And I kind of wanted to like reflect on the 2 months, the journey that we were on. And even when I think back to Colorado, so we went and we all rented a big house in Colorado. Kara and Nate were there, Craig and Amy. We got to meet Mike, Corey, and Gareth and Max. And we got to meet Grace for the first time. And if I think of Frankie 2 months ago there and how challenging that was, like the house was not kid friendly. There was no toys. It was so cold and so snowy outside. So I was spending no time outside with her, and everyone was gone snowboarding and skiing all day. It was just like,
plus the house we rented was not a baby friendly house.
Yeah,
like,
I just said that.
Oh, sorry.
Jet lag. What's crazy is to go back to the jet lag, the first 4 or 5 nights, I feel like both you and I were very jet lagged. So it was like kind of cute to get up and play with Frankie in the middle of the night. We were probably encouraging her in some ways by not being like, shh, it's sleepy time, because we were also really awake. But now that it's not day 9, you did last night and the night before.
I gave her the cold shoulder most of the night.
Yeah, you're so much better.
Because I read that
me.
like if you were being too playful, then you're breeding this little habit of her getting up and playing
in the middle of the night. Yeah.
And so I gave her nothing, and I didn't turn on the lights, and she was very happy. but she's also a little bit sick.
I know. There's
And
so
so
much at play.
she's just all night last night. I don't think she slept more than half an hour.
Yeah. And then this morning I took her to my girlfriend's. There was like 6 of my girlfriends, all the kids. Frankie's in the middle of the dance party. She's the youngest one. She's like clapping at the dance party. It was so, God, okay. I don't want this podcast to become like, I love my kid, but man, do I love my kid. Actually, I do want it to become that.
I want to go on the record and say like, wow, already I'm seeing how worth it is to have kids, because I know like the episode 1, episode 2 we talked about kids a lot, and I was like, dude, this is fucking crazy. I feel like with most things in my life, I never really actually unpacked what it would be like to have kids and like put it in a spreadsheet or a list in my head even of like all the negatives that come with. Well, you're laughing, but there's a ton of negatives, baby. You know, negative might not be the wrong word, but
we were gonna get into this later in the episode, but I've been really sitting with that. Because Eamon is the first person to tell people. The other night, I literally heard you say, it fucks up your life to someone. So when I hear you say that, like it's just so many negatives, and you don't lead with, I'm so grateful for Beck and everything she did. I'm not asking you to.
I mean, it was a cocktail conversation,
no,
right?
I know,
and it was with like a 21-year-old. And so I just really want to encourage people that, you know, I don't want to always leave, oh, they're such a blessing. Oh, they're going to make your life so much better. And they do. But I think generally when you have a baby at home, it will completely dismantle your life. If I could skip those first 6 months, honestly, I would. Even 8 months.
Yeah.
Even year.
I think
even until this month. No, but it is brutal.
But perhaps what you're feeling now is amplified because of how challenging it was for you in that first year. You're like, her walking and her talking, you're like really feeling the reward of that. You're like excited by all of it because you know how difficult it was before it.
Look, that's true. Actually, it's the same as life. Like if you just have an easy life, nothing feels so rewarding. But now it's like, I can make a meal in the kitchen and she's like sitting playing with her dolls. That's so cool.
Yeah. Should we talk about her obsession with babies really quickly?
Yeah, I find it really interesting. She's such a girl.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about you a little more?
Oh, and the bear.
Also,
the good bear.
Also in his little chiclet teeth.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy.
So.
She's such a girl. You know, we've got trucks. We've got.
We actually didn't have a doll or a baby forever, and we'd take her to this early on, and you say she would just beeline.
Yeah, right away.
To the babies.
There's trains. There's cars. There's more boy style things. The chick loves babies. She loves rocking her baby. She loves sharing her binky with her baby, yes. Her bottle with her baby. Yes. And she even makes a sound. She goes, like she's so.
I miss her.
She's got such like a natural nurturing.
Yes.
It's just like who she is.
Yes.
Maybe it's a phase, but right now she's obsessed.
She's obsessed. We went to swimming lessons yesterday.
And she likes the black ones, which is really cool.
Very cool. She prioritizes like grabbing those ones.
Stop.
We have a very diverse group of dolls at the house. Do you need something, boo-boos, or you just want a little attention?
All done.
It's like take your kid to work day, so he's excited that he has all our attention. Hey, Bubba's, why don't you sit down? Why don't you lie down?
I am about to go on my bucket list trip. Yeah, I'm about to go on my bucket list trip.
Yeah.
I am about to go on a once-in-a-lifetime bucket list trip with some of my best homies for Nate's birthday. We're going heli skiing.
It's ridiculous.
Which brings us to the sponsor, Unbound Merino. And you know I'm taking all my merino socks, all my merino base layers. I use the long sleeve in heather gray, and it's going to be essential because I'm probably going to wear it every single day.
There's something about the fabric. It's a natural fiber, and it's breathable. And unlike cotton and synthetic, you can wear Unbound merino pieces over and over and over again, like for weeks.
It sounds weird if you don't know, if you haven't experienced merino, but it's true.
It's so true. And you don't have to wash it. It makes it the perfect travel piece. I also love that they don't do like big logos or like anything on it. It's just timeless, classic, from flight to heli skiing to night out with the boys. It's just the perfect staple. Unbound's clothing allows travelers to pack lighter, save on checked bag fees, and spend more time focusing on creating travel memories, which I love.
So you should definitely head over to their website, unboundmerino.com, where customers can use our code REROOT for 15% off their order.
It is for new customers, but other than that, you did great.
Check it out, guys.
So let's go back to Colorado. if I was like into making reels, I talked to you about this. Like if I wanted to create short form content, I feel like I would love to make this video. And again, it's like, do I want to? Because I don't identify at all with the diagnosis my body was given. But I think there's something.
I think you should make it.
There's
It's going to be such a powerful one.
Yeah. I've had this idea of making this video, you know, November 7th, 2023. My body was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, which essentially was in my bones everywhere. Super, super painful stuff. Basically prescribed hydromorphine for the rest of my life. And here I am this trip, learning how to snowboard, learning how to surf, going to hot Pilates.
Not just going to hot Pilates. People in the class looking at you like, damn, this chick's going ham.
Really?
Yeah, baby, for sure.
I feel very emotional today. Thank you. I think I get emotional with that because I'm just so proud. I'm so incredibly proud of both of us. But me, especially. Because I remember the girl who got that diagnosis and how much pain I was in my body. Just like I could have so easily been a victim to all of that and not been doing all these things that we had the opportunity to do over the last couple of months. And like you were just saying, having that struggle, having that pain, and then getting out there and learning how to snowboard. So we're in Vail, Colorado. I don't know if
big mountain.
Big mountain. I have no reason being there. It's just not where you learn how to do something, I feel like. We've done bunny hills in Ontario. That's the only exposure to skiing or snowboarding I've ever had. And so Eamon's like, you don't need an instructor. Let's just get up there. We're on the ski lift. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going.
You're on a gondola.
Sorry, we were on a gondola. That's right. And it was so terrifying. Every part of it was like terrifying, but I recognized with all the work I've done, the meditation, the becoming aware of your thoughts, like all that I've learned, I was applying to snowboarding. And I just kept saying like, this is just your body telling you to be in fear. Like, just go for it. Just try it. And I'm like a 34-year-old woman on the mountain learning how to snowboard. And I'm so proud of that. And I did it. So much so that I went out day 2 and I completely did that on my own. Like I had Andrew and Odette, his girlfriend, like sort of around me, guiding me, but I was doing it.
Yeah.
On my own.
That's sick.
It was great. And the whole reason I went and became a snowboarder was why, babe? What are we?
Yeah, like once again, I think because you had tried snowboarding once. And
does the audience know about that time?
I don't know
if we've talked about it or not. Perhaps you should share it from your perspective because I feel like it's always coming
Well, I guess my perspective is now skewed by how many times you've told this story. But I told her I was a snowboard instructor and I'll teach you. And then I taught her a few things and then left her for the afternoon to practice.
Did you teach me anything, you think?
Yeah, I taught you about the headlight on the front of the knee.
You basically said on your toes, on your heels, and left.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so it didn't go so well. But so when
was
talking
years
about
ago.
going on the mountain, Beck was like, nah, I think I'm going to ski. Skiing is a little bit easier. And I said, no, we're a snowboard family. I really just kind of have this vision of us with our snowboards, you know? And aren't you proud? Aren't you happy that you stuck with it?
I'm so, so proud.
Yeah.
And you know what I love?
Because I know
about
you can do it.
Yes. I love, the first day we were in Vail together, you were very frustrated with me again because all of our friends kept going.
No, I was really patient.
You don't think
I
you
was
were
so
patient.
good. You were freaking out. You
But
were having a little.
You weren't being like empathetic with me at all.
Well,
You're a very tough love. It'll be interesting to see what kind of dad you are. Like if you're trying to teach Frankie to snowboard, she probably won't have the fear that a 34-year-old woman would. But you have no empathy and you don't because it's just in your body. Like you've been doing this so long that I actually don't think you're a good teacher of it, or you're not a good teacher with me. Your patience level with me is very
look,
tiny.
I don't think couples should teach each other how to do anything. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's just you don't, like you said, you don't have the same patience and empathy. Like,
why is that though? Why can't you meet the person you love most in this world with a little more kindness and love? It's like frustration
it is interesting. I don't know what it is. but it's not good.
This is so off topic, but I was just with my girlfriends this morning, and it's just so great being with other moms. All of them are moms. The one was saying like her husband's not in town with her in this area, and she was saying, why is it that when he's not here, I just get up with the kid every time they get up, like all night, and I have no resentment. I just know that it's me who's getting up, so I just get up and it's no big deal. But when I'm at home and my husband's sleeping next to me, it's like this like anger or resentment that they're not getting up, but I am. And I was saying, isn't that so interesting? Because I can completely, I know exactly what you mean. I totally get it. Even in the nights where I'm like, babe, it's totally me tonight, or it's totally you tonight. Like it's a different energy than when we're both sleeping and I'm like, well, who's going to get up?
Well,
You know
even
what I mean?
when we're jet lagged and you're like, okay, I got her.
Yeah.
And you found out that I was watching YouTube and not sleeping. I couldn't sleep. But you're like, you're just in here watching YouTube? Like that is like the worst thing I could be doing.
It's the worst because I was in a battle room in there and you're just like watching your YouTube. Anyways, it's just interesting to see how we so quickly and immediately resent our partner for doing something that we would never resent anyone else in our life for doing.
Mm-hmm.
What a reminder to just have more love and patience for each other. I love you.
I think it goes both ways. If I think about the snowboarding thing, I think we're both just meeting at it like with that couple energy.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm a bad teacher.
No,
I
for
think
sure.
you're also meeting me with like a frustration.
So fair.
Yeah.
So fair. Like if somebody else, well, like Andrew and Odette were on the mountain with me, it's actually less frustration and more like a codependency.
Yes.
Like I can depend on you to get me down this hill.
Yeah.
Whereas with somebody else, I'm like, I depend
You're
on
independent.
myself
Yes.
to get down this hill.
Maybe that's it. We just figured it out.
I'm too codependent on you and you have no patience for me.
Yeah. I wonder if that relates to something else. Like if I was teaching you how to like cut something or cook something or build something.
It is interesting. I don't know. I do think that in a lot of ways, I love learning from you. And I am really, I don't think you have patience with me when you're teaching me anything. But there's something about going down that hill, like the safety of it. I felt like I needed to depend on you.
Yeah,
to get
I
me
also
down.
feel like you don't listen to me as much. Like if I'm teaching you how to,
I'm codependent, so I'm not even listening.
wash
I'm like,
the bottles, for example, you would just exactly roll your eyes as if it doesn't even need to be a conversation.
You're right. I just rolled my eyes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's caught on film.
I know.
Close up.
Oh God. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, but if I'm trying to like tread lightly here because I think in that scenario, you don't think I want the bottles washed to the best of my ability. Like I want Frankie to have no disease and everything too. It's like sometimes you can just get so OCD or anal about how the thing is done that you want it done your way. We're now on a different topic. We're having therapy right now and maybe that's good for us. That's what this podcast is all about. But that's you wanting it done your way. It's not that I don't want to learn your way or respect that you need it done that way. It's that I know that I clean the bottles well as well. You even like she's 15 months and the other day you're like, who cleaned these bottles?
Well, I go to grab a nipple and it's like cloudy AF. Like
It was your mom. It wasn't me. Sorry, Marek.
sorry, not sorry. I'd call her out if she
Yeah.
was right here too.
Yeah. You're very anal about
cloudy
the
nipples
bottles.
do not meet the standard. Dude.
Standard of our household. Anyway, so Colorado was great. I learned to snowboard. I'm really proud of that. I wouldn't say that I'm a great snowboarder, but I was like making it down the hill. And
Yeah,
it
that's
was, like,
huge.
amazing.
A mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was making it down the mountain.
Were you having
You're
fun
right.
too?
I do think I was approaching maybe saying the word fun at the end. Yeah.
No, I was terrified, but fun.
Why don't you talk us through like your experience? Because I feel like you guys would all come home and be like, that was the best day of my whole life.
Okay, well, first of all, like as far as a crew goes, it was just unreal. You know, like my best friends on the mountain. Nate froths it. Like when Nate's excited about something, it's
Hard
so
to
fun.
compete with that level of fun.
Yeah, and he's frothing. Like we're all waking up at 6, 7, like ready to hit the slopes.
Yeah.
Max is, Max bought all new gear for it. Like there, and Grace too. Like Grace was semi beginner to intermediate, but she was like up, ready to
She
go.
was.
Craig, like everyone was just so pumped.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing like an activity like that and everyone's meeting it with that same energy, it really is fun. And I mean the conditions were incredible. We got so lucky. We got dumped on. Nate said he's never had Vail like that much powder.
Yeah.
And he skied Vail a lot. So yeah, wow, what a trip. I haven't done a snowboard trip in so long. I haven't been on a snowboard in so long. So it was incredible.
And one of the last days, I was the one egging Amy, our friend, on, saying like, let's go, come on. Because she would kind of like hang back some days because the crew was going on the back bowls. I've now learned the lingo, which is like intense stuff. And I encouraged her to come out and we go to get off the chairlift. And that was the thing I was actually most anxious about because I had only done the gondola. But then we went up higher and I was on a proper chairlift where you like get pushed off the thing.
Yeah.
And
a lot
so-
of the injuries happen on the chairlift.
That's what you told me after, but I didn't even know that at the time. I just knew that I had anxiety around it, and she
Because
was the one
if
telling
people
me.
don't know, like when you're on the chairlift on a snowboard, you only have one foot strapped in.
Yes.
So you got to ride your snowboard off this little hill, but with one foot, with a bunch of people getting off a chair. There's a bit going on there.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
So I was saying like, let's just go, Aim. Come on, come on. We go out, and she's on the one behind me. I'm in front of her. I accomplish it. I'm like, wow, yes! Like everyone's gonna ski down this mountain. It's gonna be the best. And I turn around, and Amy's on the ground. And I was like, no, oh my gosh. And she just kind of like skirts over to the side, and she's on her back on over to the side. And I remember saying like, should we go get her? And Craig goes, Amy, you okay? And she's like, okay. Well, we thought she said okay, but I think she was like actually waving for us to come over. Finally, this guy, anyways, long story short, Amy broke her wrist, had to go down the mountain in one of those like, what do you call that?
Like a stretcher, like
a
snow
body
stretcher.
bag thing. Like
Yeah,
people ski her
that's kinda
down on
cool.
it. I mean, it was a cool story to tell, I'm sure,
Uh-huh.
but poor girl broke her wrist. But other than that, just a fantastic week. It was just so much fun to get all of our friends. Like Max had never met Kara and Nate, and we'd never met Mike Corey, even though we'd been like friendly for so many years. It was just like this awesome time. And we were the only ones with a child, which is always really crazy to remember that we're like with child. And
A lot of people were asking about Riley in the
Oh.
last video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Want to talk about Riley?
Well, just
What's up,
that
Riley?
we hired a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
We decided not to call her our nanny, but helper.
Yeah.
And she was able to help with Frank. But that was a tough week. Like even with, like, Frank just didn't like that what's it called? Cabin fever. Like she
Like,
was cooped up
Cabin
there.
fever was so tough. It was so
No
cold, like I
toys.
said. No toys. And
Nowhere
it
to
was
walk.
a
Like her location wasn't great to like
practice
get out with a kid.
walking. Yeah.
And she's at that age where all she wants to do is kind of start walking.
And also there was a 3-hour time difference, which in some weird way was one of the hardest ones until we came home just now. Like that 3 hours, she just was like weird with bedtime, weird with naps. It was just hard. Are you feeling uncertain about what's next in your life or your career? You're not alone. Life can be so overwhelming. There's always, it seems, big decisions, changing relationships. And honestly, so many of us are just trying not to make this big mistake. And this is where personal coaching with strawberry.me comes in. Thanks to strawberry.me for being a sponsor of this episode. I feel like a great coach could have been so helpful as we navigated our businesses this last year.
Yeah.
There was
Still.
And yeah, you're right. Still, it's almost like you think the decision is made and then there's nothing to work through. But I feel like even when it comes to the podcast, there can just be so much doubt. Like, are we good enough at this? Do we have the capacity to be great hosts who have epic guests on and chat about quantum physics? And I mean, the truth is we do, don't we? I can't wait for that. But there's just doubt that you come up against or imposter syndrome. And I think that having someone who can ask the right questions, guide you, support you, can be the support that you didn't even know you really needed.
Strawberry.me assesses your needs and connects you with the perfect coach for you. You can start communicating in as little as 4 hours, which makes it more affordable and convenient than traditional coaching.
So visit strawberry.me/reroot. That's strawberry.me/reroot and take charge of your future with the help of a certified coach. Special offer for our Reroot listeners. You get 20% off your first month membership at strawberry.me/reroot. Say it with me. Strawberry.me/reroot. You need some personal coaching on that one. Okay. Okay, so from Colorado, we went to Hawaii and Australia, and I feel like the biggest thing that happened for us was this loosening, let's call it, of our parenting. Does that make sense to you? Like, I think when we were here in Toronto, like everyone around us has a much more routine life, which is great for them. We are not routine people. We never organically felt like that was right. And yet we hadn't really seen another way of doing parenting. So we just kind of like slipped into like following wake windows and structure and naps. And like, obviously there's benefits to that. It works so well for so many kids and the routine of it all is wonderful. It's just so great for us that we've loosened ourselves a little bit.
Well, I just don't think you can do that when you travel too.
100%.
So we thought it was working. We were like obsessed with, oh, it's been 3 hours, put her to bed. Like, and it's so easy to get caught up in that cycle of this is what you do. This is what our friends do. Try this. So yeah, I think the travel was nice for us to just realize like, look, go with your intuition. She's going to be on a train. She's going to be on a plane. She's going to be, like you're just not going to have those opportunities. If she's tired, she put her to bed. And it just took a lot of stress off of both of us.
Totally. We were traveling with a pack and play and like a little tent thing that makes it black.
Look, we bought into all the shit.
It's
so easy to buy into all that stuff. Slumber pod is like this blackout tent thing. And the concept was like, okay, well, if she's going to have different environments that she's sleeping in, if we put this blackout tent over her crib, then at least it's like that little area is familiar for her.
Like her little nook is her nook no matter what Airbnb or wherever we're staying. But in the end, she just would fall asleep on.
She just wants
anywhere.
us. We're the home, And it's really, I just think intuition is so important to listen to. It's so easy to like go to Google or go to your friend or be like, what's happening at this? It's like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Like,
what
you're
does
the
your
mom.
heart say?
What do you want to do? Listen to that. I heard someone early on, I take Frank to these like free, like government subsidized like daycare. It's not like you drop them off, but like you go and it's like a play place essentially.
Yeah.
And it's great because you meet other parents and they have snack time and circle time and they sing songs. Frank loves it. They have all these toys. It's just fun to get out the house. And I heard this one lady say, like, because we were going around sharing like our advice. My advice was everything's a phase, which I stole from someone over here. It's so true because it's easy to get. I even said like it's easy to get in this like fixing mentality, like, ooh, there's a problem, let me fix. It's like surrender, everything's a phase. Anyway, she said accept everything from people, all the stuff, and take none of the advice.
We listened to on Diary of a CEO, this psychologist. Is she a psychologist?
Mm-hmm. Or a psychoanalyst?
Yeah, some sort of whatever.
Some kind of smart person.
Yeah, she was using this idea of guilt. So like we talk about mom guilt or like dad guilt. Like I remember in the early days, if you'd go and I remember you filmed for Habit for like a couple of hours and you came back and you're like, I felt so guilty being away. And I used to think that's such a
felt guilty
negative
watching
thing.
YouTube while she was screaming, by the way.
That's good. As long as, but
I was
you know
like,
what's interesting?
after this one, I'll go. And then the show would end, and I was like, I don't hear any screaming. It's probably good.
She was basically saying, guilt shows you where you need to lean in more. So it's not a bad thing. I kept saying like, don't feel guilty, and like mom should never feel guilt or whatever. But it's almost like our intuition saying, hey, I don't want to be away from my baby. Like even me, like. There are times when we're recording the pod, for example, where I don't carry any guilt that I'm away from Frankie because it really fills me up. It's a part of our work. But there are other jobs where I feel guilty for being away. And it's like, well, actually, if you listen to that, it's just your heart and body intuitively telling you, I don't want to spend that much time away from she's still so young. Like these first 3 years are so important.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you were feeling guilt around something, instead of denying it or whatever, just recognize like, hey, Like, because truthfully, we don't have capacity to do all of it. And like, you needed that break and you needed to watch some YouTube or whatever. But what your heart and your intuition and your gut is telling you in that moment is like, I want to go be with my baby and my partner who need me. But your body is
for me,
tired.
it was less baby because I just think Frank, like, to me, honestly, it was just more you. It's like, oh, I should go give her a break. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's a guy thing. I don't, like, when she's screaming at night, sometimes I feel like, oh, my baby. But, like, I really don't. I'm just, like, more like, oh, like, you know, I got to go help back.
I think that's why, again, that same episode was a really interesting listen, like chemically, biologically, and I've been saying this but didn't have the science to prove it, that there's something very different happening in our bodies.
Yeah.
My favorite meme that someone has sent me was the aerial view of the mom and dad sleeping. The baby is crying. The mom is on the mom's side of the bed. She hears it. She feels it. She's like, blah, blah, blah. She literally rolls over. The baby's obviously still crying. It's a joke, but she's on dad's side of the bed and it's pure silence. It's like chemically, you aren't hearing the scream the way that we are.
Yeah,
you know? It's
definitely
just a
not.
Totally different thing. That's why actually you doing the jet lag night where she does need to just fuss a little bit is better, because for me, as soon as she starts fussing, I'm like, what do you need, baby? I got you.
Yeah, but I think you can soothe her way better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering, like, last night, she had her little wake time. But then, like, the rest of the night, she was just brutal. And, like, I was giving her love and everything, and she'd fall asleep. But it was just, like...
Yeah. It's different.
I really...
chemically for her,
I think she
it's
sleeps
different
better
mom,
with you.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got tonight, okay?
Oh, great.
You heard it here. I got
Perfect.
tonight.
I was thinking I would do it again because I got the next 2 nights. I got plans.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, great. Anyways, we loosened. It's been great. Frankie sleeps with us again. There's no more pack and play. There's no more crib. It's
We
all
got a
out the
crib
window.
we got multiple cribs for sale now.
Cabin crib for sale. No, I don't know. Hopefully we'll get back into some sort of, she can spend some time in her crib. It will be helpful.
Like for naps.
For
and stuff.
naps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, people have been sleeping with their kids forever. It just does feel right.
Yeah.
It is a little bit harder if you're listening and you've got like, you know, your 9 to 5 and you don't have as much flexibility. But for us, like right now, our priority is her. And if she, we're just doing what we feel is right.
My whole heart is swelling listening to you say that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hawaii, amazing. Australia, amazing. I know that there's a question.
What'd you think of Hawaii? Honestly, I feel like Hawaii is a place that was never really on our list.
Yeah.
Mainly, I guess, because it's just an American island. It's kind of weird the way America just took over that island. It still sits weird with me.
Yeah.
I'm sure it sits weird with a lot of people.
Yeah.
It is absolutely stunning. But way underrated. Like it was way better than I thought.
It was way better than I thought, and kind of everything I thought in
Maui
like a
specifically.
boring way. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like when we went to Honolulu to that pod, it's a very small look into everything, but like it felt very much like we were in America. Like the highway was big. There was lots of traffic. It felt like we were in LA, honestly. But Maui had like a very special energy. And I'm so glad that there's something about filming, vlogging, sharing our lives that does force us, not force us, where we want to go out and do like a van trip or something that makes us get out there more, because it would have been easy with a 15-month-old to be like, wow, we really didn't sleep last night, or, you know, she's teething. Let's just
stay
relax by the
Yeah,
pool
yeah.
or the beach or something. But instead, it really was fun to show everyone around Hawaii and for us to have that experience. And I'm so grateful that we film.
100%.
So us doing that Maui trip, the road to Hana, was just like, that for me really made me love Maui.
Yeah, me too.
But where my heart is, as we all
It's
know,
in Australia.
I saw some girlfriends today, as I've mentioned like 10 times now, but the ones who watch and stuff, they were like, you could tell that both you, Eamon, and then Haley was even like, and even Frankie, you just look at home there.
Well, especially the locals there tell us you belong here.
That was the
Max and Kendall and
biggest
Glenn.
compliment I'd
On
had
our
in
last
so
night, we had like
long.
the most amazing We set up a table outside and had dinner at Max's place, and yeah, they said like it's been so great having you guys, and you really do belong here. And I feel that, like I just feel like our energy, our laid backness. There's something about Australia that is so chill, and yeah, we're when we were there, we were pretty sold we were gonna move there.
Now that we're back in Toronto, we're back in the swing of our routines, and that means I get to go to my hot Pilates. I'm like so stoked on that. Been loving it. We had a sauna cold plunge sesh yesterday. It was Sunday. We just kind of have like open door policy. A bunch of friends come by. These routines all really require us to understand hydration and to know that we have to supplement water with electrolytes. Enter Element, a sponsor of today's episode. You've heard us talking about them. We're just completely obsessed and so grateful they're back, because health hydration isn't just about drinking water. As I said, it's water and electrolytes. And I feel like so many of us have been getting this wrong for so long. It makes sense. When you sweat, you're losing both water and salt. Just sweat and have it drip and
when you lick it.
Exactly. So you need to be replenishing that to stop headaches or energy dips or those things that we often call dehydration, which is common, but it's actually less common than being low in electrolytes.
Element has enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium to get you feeling and performing your best. Plus, it has zero sugar, any artificial colors, or dodgy ingredients.
Plot twist, I've been really into the watermelon salt. Actually, ever since Adam said he was into it, I'm like, I'm going to go for watermelon. But my OG fan fave is still the chili mango. It's just unique. I love it.
Spicy.
It's spicy. Yeah. And truly, there's a flavor for everyone. So we're stoked that Element came up with this epic offer just for us. If you go to lmnt.com/reroot, you get a free sample pack. So you get to try them all with any purchase. Thanks, Element. So the next part
Until
of this pod is sort of asking you guys to submit questions and your feedback and like things you've heard us say over this season that you kind of wanted us to clarify or like go deeper on. One of them, the most topic, the hottest topic at the moment, is whether we are actually going to move to Australia. And the truth is, a week ago, I would have said hands down, there's
6 months of the year.
0% chance I would say no. It was 6 months of the year in Australia. We just feel completely at home. It would be amazing to build a tiny on Max's property or somewhere in that area, just rent even. Like, we just feel so alive, so free, just so meant to be. But then we came home.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the 25-hour flight.
No.
Like, that sucked, of course.
Yeah.
But you just do it, right? You just put your head down and you're like, all right, this is going to be brutal.
My one story about that is like we were in Hong Kong on our layover, get onto our 15-hour flight, and I like get on. Frankie's asleep in the carrier with me, and I can just see that everyone is looking at us like, oh, geez. So I just make this announcement out loud, like, she's a really good kid. And then I like proceed to sit down. And this mom comes up to me like a couple hours into it, and she goes, oh my God, my heart for you in that moment. She didn't have her kids with her. She was on a business trip, but she was just saying, I, in that moment, empathized with you, wanted to help you as much as I could on this flight. Like, I just feel for you. Everyone was amazing. It was my own thing, but you don't want to be the one with like a screaming baby on the flight. And obviously she had some moments, but I would say Frankie traveled amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. But what was it? No,
it's just been this last 9 days now.
Yeah, yeah.
And they say it's an hour of time difference per day. We're not even halfway here.
I know.
It's 17-hour difference.
I know.
So, like, that is just too much.
Yeah.
To be doing that twice a year, it's honestly too much.
I think, though, that there's a way we could have done it where we go to New Zealand for a couple of days or something. Like, because Adam and Sarah did a direct from New Zealand to San Fran overnight. It's because we had to do, like, 2 overnight flights that I think really messed her up.
Break it up again. Yeah, because getting there, stopping in Hawaii wasn't as bad.
It was like so easy. There was no jet lag almost. She was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember night 1 and 2 in Sydney, she was a bit off, but like that's
yeah, because then Hong Kong with the layover there, she was messed. And then getting on the plane.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a way to do it. So I'm not ruling out Australia, but it's far. It's really, really
We're
far.
definitely still looking for our summer spot,
Our winter spot.
our winter spot.
Yeah, I
warm
think
weather.
like people are like, I thought you were gonna go to Mexico, and like that's definitely on the list still. We're gonna go visit Ryan Louis hopefully in Costa Rica. Like that's on the potentials list. These are much closer destinations. But if I could just teleport somewhere, I'd go to Australia.
Me too.
We're not your analytical type, but we cannot get over this stat. 49% of you who are regularly watching Reroot are not subscribed. It is free, simple, and the best way that you can support us and this show. If you can take 2 seconds to hit subscribe and put your notifications on, we will be able to make season 4 even more incredible. Find the guests that you want to hear us chatting to, bring them all on, and I just want to thank you in advance because you subscribing means the world to us. Thanks, guys. Let's get into other things, few topics from Instagram. Or do you want to start with the highlights, your top 1 to 2 moments that really shifted your perspective on something this season on Reroot? I feel like one of the ones that really jumps out at me was sitting across from Ellen Fisher, someone who I think is just so incredibly beautiful, who exudes like inner beauty, outer beauty, all of it, lives this incredible life. And we pull that real talk card, and she, I asked her what lie does she tell herself, and she said that she's not beautiful. What's a lie you tell yourself about yourself?
I'm already crying because I know the answer. Maybe that I'm not beautiful. Like a lie you could tell yourself. But I know it's not true, because we're all individually beautiful in our own way. But it's like a subconscious type of thing that you could tell yourself, nitpicking, picking yourself apart, the high standards that maybe the world has for, I think, probably especially women, but it could be for men too, obviously.
Yeah.
That would probably be
the perspective shift it was for me was actually more of just this reminder that we all are our own toughest critics. That whole thing of like the grass is always greener. It's so easy to look at someone, especially on social media, and think what a beautiful life, what a beautiful woman. Like she has no problems, no issues. She's got it all figured out. And she has so much figured out, but we're all such works in progress. And for that raw moment to have happened between us when we didn't even know each other really well at that point, it was just so impactful for me, and I hope in a really positive way impactful for women as a whole. Like beauty is just so much more energetic for me, and obviously there are these like standards of beauty that maybe you would measure someone by subconsciously, so by that metric she's beautiful, but in so many ways she's so beautiful. And I see that in everyone I meet. I just think everyone is beautiful. That was just really impactful for me. That whole conversation with her was amazing. I feel like we had so much parenting talk with her, and she could share so many like of those intuitive perspectives that perhaps we had been missing by being like in our Toronto bubble. I love her, and I loved Ginty. Like,
I was gonna say Ginty too.
Meeting Ginty felt as though I had reconnected with a long lost sister, like this soul connection. Thank you for saying yes to spending this time with us. It's meant so much to me, genuinely. And like, as I'm looking here, I feel emotional because I just feel so lucky. So thank you for this time.
Oh, thank you both so much. I feel exactly, the same in return.
Beautiful.
Ginty, I miss you. She had texted me after, and I was like, I thought you were texting me to say you missed me because I miss you so much. Like, it feels as though I need her in my life, but that I have her in my life, even though I don't know. It's confusing almost, but it's so deep and special and like amazing.
I mean, for one of mine, which should have been in season 3, but it's not, is the Bucket List family.
Yes.
Can't wait for you guys to get that episode. It's not available yet. It'll be in season 4, but wow, very, very interesting episode. We went way into religion, and their life is incredible and their story is amazing. And then at the end, just them telling us, like, when you meet people and you think, wow, they're doing exactly what they should be doing. So like that was just so cool to hear.
Yeah, they were saying that to us about being hosts of a podcast. And I think there is some imposter syndrome we've gone through with season 3.
Definitely.
Trying to find our feet here with Reroot and the audience for it, which I know is out there. And I know you guys who are listening right now are like, you're everything to us. So thank you so, so much. We're so grateful for you. But yeah, just finding that audience can make you feel a bit like, what are we doing? And like, are we making an impact? And, you know, so it's really cool to sit with people you really admire and have them give you such a compliment. That was really, really cool. And we hadn't met them ever before too. So it's like really, I feel like I'm doing all the top moments. My last top moment was Ali sitting right there. I'll never, ever forget it. Telling us the story of, I mean, after so much trials and tribulations with even Leo's birth and stuff, talking about Billy's birth, a home birth, and that moment she had with her mom who had passed, that she just knew her mom was holding Billy until he was ready to like enter the world. That like really powerful connection. And I've heard, you know, pregnant women, the veil in that spiritual world is like so much thinner because you're carrying that life that's not yet birthed, you know. It's just this really intimate connection. And a reason I would love to be pregnant again one day is I just think I'm such a different person and in such a different spiritual mindset that it would be so powerful. And I feel like Ali really tapped into that. So that was such a powerful episode in general.
And I was telling you this the other day, but like I knew that Billy was okay throughout that whole labor because I knew my mom was with him as he was like coming over here. But it was just a really, really beautiful experience. I don't even know how to talk about it yet because it still feels so surreal. But literally you go into labor and then some people come over, you fill up a tub, you get in.
Where'd you do this? In your living room?
In our bedroom.
Wow.
Leah, it's unbelievable.
I think why that episode stuck out for so many people, because there was a lot of engagement on that episode, is because Trent and Ali, what they post is very, like, not surface, but like very, like
This is the project we're working on.
This is the project. They only show so much into their life. And they really came in here and showed a very vulnerable side to them, both of them. And I think it was really cool for people to hear and see that.
Yeah, that was such a good one. Okay, my last one, we can cut however many of these out, was Aaron Spivak.
I was going to say him too.
Okay,
yeah.
you bring him up then because...
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't know who he is and didn't care to watch. But he's got an incredible story, and a story of, you know, this bridging this spiritual business world and not having his success by just grinding, although he did work his ass off, but about he attributes it a lot to just a belief that it's going to happen, and knowing that those doors are going to open and those meetings are going to happen. And he was just very well spoken and did such a good job of not just telling his story, but I think showing a cool side of him.
So I journal what is, like the way where I am right now, the way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second page is I script the future in very like mega details, mega details, to the point where, you know, as a 19-year-old, I used to really want a Lamborghini. I don't know why. I feel like every 19-year-old.
Yellow or black?
One. It was black.
Mine's black
orange
too. Yeah.
and orange stitching.
Nice.
Yeah, you see, we're the same person.
Nice.
And
yellow's just too flashy. Like the Lambo looks good enough.
I want black, but like just a little orange where, you know,
that's
like,
cool.
You know it's mine.
That's cool.
You know?
I like that.
And when I would do this script, I would go like super detailed to like, you know, opening the door, to like the way the leather felt on my hands.
Wow.
To like, you know, that little button you flick open and turn it on.
This guy's tapped in.
Yeah, and then like the first rumble. And no matter what, every time I'd close my eyes and like step into this vision, I never felt comfortable in that car. I don't know why. I've never been in one, by the way. But I just like always envisioned like I'm not that comfortable. I always felt like I'm like tight, you know? And I'm like, why am I tight? I've never been in one. Maybe it's like luxury seating. I don't know. And then anyways, fast forward like almost 7 years, I kind of dropped that vision. My buddy gets one, brings it to my house, and he's like, you got to take it for a spin. And I'm like, I can't wait. I've always wanted to drive one. Anyways, jump in the car. get in, turn it on. Like, this is unbelievable. I do like my first right turn, and I'm like, my back cracks. I'm like, oh, the seat is so uncomfortable. And the second I
Wow.
said that out loud, I'm like, oh my God, I knew this
Yeah.
7 years ago when I was trying to get into it.
I think they've started a pod now.
No way.
Founders to Founders. I saw something.
Cool.
Yeah, so check that out. But Aaron Spivak episode, if I know a lot of you didn't listen to it, but it's
So
a goodie.
good.
Anyone who I tell them to listen to it
Even my brother, Tough
messages
Critics,
us
was, like,
back
really
and
loved
says,
it.
"Yeah, that episode was great."
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess on that note, I would love to get everyone's comments below about who they want to see us bring into season 4 as we sit and brainstorm and take this break. I personally want to be talking to like Joe Dispenza, Jay Shetty, Greg Braden, these epic people. I mean, there's so many females too. Those were 3 males. I want women on this show. I want sort of those experts or those people who really come with like the science and the bridging of science and spirituality. And I love speaking with YouTubers, or creatives and content people. I think they'll be weaved in here and there, but I would love to transition to this expert sharing their scientific researched stuff on whether it's parenting or it is, like I would love to have her on. I don't know what her name is, but the one who was just on Diary of a CEO.
we'll find her name.
We'll find her, and I would love to hear who you guys want to hear.
And just to remind you guys, that's like this is season 3, but it really is season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we, leveraged our network to get as many people with a following and other YouTubers who would share their story in an authentic, meaningful way to build a show credible enough to get these guests. So if you do take that 1 second, subscribe, leave a review, all that stuff really helps us go and get these guests. So when we hit up Joe, he's like, oh yeah, I'll do your show, which is going to happen. I know it is.
Of course it is. He's even going to come here, I bet. Okay, so top moments. And then we went to Instagram. You can follow us at Reroot Pod. And there were some questions there. I feel like a few of them we've answered, but this one I thought was really interesting. Go on a whim. Oh, go on a whim. Cute. Go on a whim 13. Gender roles as a modern day couple, have they changed as your life has changed? I feel like we're literally just starting to lean into more. I mean, it's not true at all. We are very fluid with our gender roles, I feel like. But I feel like I've finally been more open to doing more time at home with Frankie, just me, and like letting you come and make some business decisions without me. I feel like before we both leaned on each other in this not codependent way, but we're like co-business owners. So it was like, I want your input and you should be on these calls and whatever. And then we just realized that we were kind of burning out because we're trying to both be great parents at home, stay-at-home parents, and entrepreneurs. And it was just, really.
I feel like we need to look up this lady because she's top of mind.
Yeah, I know.
But what is her name?
Okay, let me look her up.
Just look it up.
Okay. Erica Commissar. Erica. Commissar. Yeah. She's a clinical social worker, psychoanalyst, and parent guidance expert with over 30 years of private practice experience.
She's got some polarizing topics.
Yes.
Very what's the word?
Polarizing. It's like against
it's very triggering. Like it's
Mhm.
against the norms. A lot of people are, she's talking about how bad daycare is. 90% of the world has kids in daycare.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it's going to be difficult to hear.
Yeah.
But she was talking again about gender roles, and she's got a lot of data that she's citing saying how, you can't have like both parents be the mother.
Yes.
And you can't have the career and be the best mom in the world. Like, it's just not possible at this stage.
Yeah.
And I think that hit us hard.
Yes.
So just to go into the gender role one, like there needs to be a mother and a father figure.
Mm-hmm.
And she has clients that, approach her, the gay couples, and she'll say like, which one's the mother?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because it doesn't need to be necessarily a female, but it needs to be someone in that baby's life that gives them love, nurture, safety, home. And I think we were both trying to be that.
Yeah.
at
And
an
for me,
early
it's like
stage.
such a privilege and an honor. And I love being that for Frankie. Like I literally love that she seeks comfort in me, especially when she's in a situation where she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then she's like, Mama. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I am here.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. It's such a privilege.
And that the father is that playful, building confidence, building adventure, chasing them around the house. Like that role is crucial for all those, you know, skills of adventure and discovery.
Mm-hmm. And I think we both are both in some ways, but I'm definitely like stronger in the nurture and you're stronger in the play. And I think that conversation she had allowed us to say like, oh, there's some parts of this traditional setup that I think we've been like fighting against for so long that do just chemically, biologically, psychologically make sense.
Yeah.
And so like don't shy away from that. But in saying that, I do think we have we've set up our lives in a way that we can both be around and we can both be a little bit of both, if that makes sense. So I think we're like still very fluid, but we're in a place now, or at least I'm in a place of acceptance. Like I can't be on every business call. You go lean into your masculine energy, make a bunch of decisions, like, you know, and I can be a little more fluid with Frankie at home.
And she highlights like, you know, after the kids out of diapers and, you know, there is time to add those years onto your career.
Totally.
Like if you want to come back to being a badass killer,
I'm still a badass killer.
No, you're not.
I'm not?
No, you are. But you can't be.
I know.
That's what she's saying.
I know. You see, it's a work in
you
progress.
You gotta accept
it's all
it.
a work in progress.
And I feel like you actually are.
No, I am.
Getting really good at like stepping away.
Yeah.
Our businesses might not be doing as well,
but. Will you always travel with Frankie, or are you going to slow down for modern day schooling?
Yeah, this whole school world is really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we live with Adam and Sarah, and they've got their baby, and she's going to be going to daycare, and we should probably share that episode with Erica with them. But it's interesting to start to explore or even have those conversations because, to be honest, it just doesn't. We have this incredible opportunity and flexibility with our life, and to be able to take our work on the road. And I just don't see us like A, stopping that, or B, like doing the whole daycare thing or schooling
daycare,
even.
Yeah, I think we're talking more school. I definitely don't see us doing daycare. School is, I feel like these decisions don't need to be made yet. What I love is being open to learning from Ellen, learning from Ginty, having these conversations with really smart people, hopefully on season 4, where we're like learning and tuning in and being like, okay, well, how does that sit with us? And like, would we want that for Frankie? Or what do we, and for me, it's putting her first. If I felt like she would really thrive in the modern day school system and she doesn't want to be on the road and whatever, like at that time we make that call. But right now, I feel like the school of life is so brilliant. This kid is
like
talking,
the other day
walking,
we were
doing
building one of
everything.
those little stands, you know, for the kitchen, so she can stand and like cook and do the dishes with us.
They call it a tower, I think.
Kids tower. And I got my screwdriver out and like I'm putting the screws in. Frank is so into it.
I know.
Like she's got her screwdriver in the screw and she's turning.
Yeah.
The kid is 15 months. Like she's genuinely interested in how things are built and how they're put together. She's like putting the screw in the hole. And so like I just want to like foster that, like lean into that. Let's build stuff.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to build stuff with her.
Yeah. Or even just like with that tower now, she's like helping with the dishes, but she like loves running
spilling water
the
all
dish
over the floor.
under the water after to rinse it. And I just think that there's so much to the school of life philosophy that I want to foster for as long as it feels good for all of us. So I don't know if we answered that, but okay, how to change your mind to stop being so negative, like everyday things you can do. And then there was another one about how did I start meditation and what would the steps be? I feel like both of those things are wrapped up into an entire episode, a whole conversation. Like I said, I would love to have Dr. Joe on to share his methodology, the research he's done, the science of it all, because there's just only so many ways I feel like I can share it. But yeah,
also like you're not qualified to share it.
Not qualified, even though I consume the content all the time. I'm like redoing one of his courses. So Dr. Joe Dispenza is how I found meditation. I used to do things like Headspace and these like short meditations. They're completely different to his work. His meditations are very active and they're about becoming conscious of your subconscious thoughts. So meditation's often like, oh, you have a thought, it comes. You know, the word meditation means to become familiar with. So all meditation in some regard is becoming familiar with what you're thinking about. With his meditations, it's like very active. Okay, I'm having this thought. Today, when I have that thought, I'm going to recognize I'm having it. That's step one. Step two is when I have that thought, I recognize I'm having it. And instead of continuing that thought, I'm going to say change, or I'm going to replace it with another thought. So a very small example of this would be, with me, fear. Let's just say I had doctor's appointments. You're coming up to it. You're like, oh my God, I'm afraid if the science says it's going the other way or something. Oh, I noticed I felt fear again. And instead of fear, I'm going to feel the gratitude of a completely healed body. Like, what would that feel like? For my doctors to say, you never have to worry again. You've done this thing. That would feel so incredibly amazing. And when I have that moment, I need to know that by having that thought, by feeling that feeling, I am chemically pruning apart synaptic connections. So here we're getting like into the science of it all, but you can up-regulate and down-regulate genes. This is epigenetics. This is science. So if I continue to have the thoughts of fear and anger and resentment towards this or whatever, then I am down-regulating genes. I am in a state of disorder, disease. If I have powerful thoughts of gratitude, love, and I'm replacing those things, I'm building new synaptic connections, but you have to keep having those thoughts for them to like stay wired in the brain. Otherwise, you could be grateful one day and then the rest of the week you're not. That connection's not strong enough. So you have to revisit this constantly on a moment-to-moment basis, which takes a lot of energy. I'm like looking at this camera for some reason. I really want people to listen. But yeah, so about recognizing you're having the thought, making the choice to change it, and then by knowing the science is going to tell your brain that it's so important you do this. Like you have to assign meaning to the act of what you're doing for it to, for the brain to want to like perk up and like give you the energy to do that, because it takes a lot of energy. So did I answer the question? It's like on a moment-to-moment basis, just noticing that you're having the negative thought is like part one, because when you don't stop and notice it, it subconsciously becomes this loop where you're looking for more and more of that negativity to just keep the arousal in your brain. Your brain has to stay awake, and that's what's like feeding it essentially. You need something to feed the energy to the brain. So, I could talk about this stuff forever and ever and ever, but yeah, I think everyone has a pathway that works for them. His work, Dr. Joe Dispenza, is just what's really worked for me. But, you know.
Why do you think some people say like we're joined a cult? Like, why do you think people like jump on that?
Because I think even though he uses science as the language for this, it's like sort of got that spiritual tone with meditation and, you know, trusting in a higher power, essentially, or that we are more energy than we are just matter. Like these aren't mainstream concepts, even though it's science. You know, it's just like I think a lot of people like to walk around and like societally we lean into like the negative. I find I am like so much happier, so much more even.
Bro, you're healed.
Yeah, and healed. And snowboarding and surfing and doing all these epic things because I've like found this. So, you know.
Do you want to talk about the girl that you saw at your gym class?
Oh, sure.
Just like as an example of like,
yeah,
you know, it's like hard to.
I mean, I think breast cancer is like probably one of the number one, especially in young women, reasons for death. You know, like it's prevalent and it's everywhere. And so, you know, this is kind of one of the reasons I stopped watching TV, because like there's so many characters who die of breast cancer. Trigger. Young women, or like I watched Love is Blind a couple seasons ago, or obviously like a season ago or something, and like the guy's like pouring his heart. He's like, I lost my mom when she was young, and I'm like, oh my God, imagine Frankie having to tell that story. Like it's very triggering for the loop of negativity for me. So yeah, I met a girl at my gym, and we were at like the daughter's kids and mums class, and her daughter's really similarly aged to Frankie. We got talking, and I found out that her sister had just died of breast cancer, and
She has 2 kids.
she has 2 kids. And I don't even know how to like say how that makes me feel. Obviously, it's just so many different things. Honestly, fear that if I don't figure it out, that could be like my sister at a gym class. Yeah, I don't know. What's the question? It's just a lot. It's everywhere. So I come up against fear all day, every day, and I have to like make a different choice.
The big thing that hit me is like if you just continue to go and you treat the cancer and you get the radiation and the surgeries, and like you're gonna face this fear, and this fear is, whether you believe it or not, contributing to your disease. The stress, when your body's in survival, it's not healthy. It's making these rogue cells, and it's just naive to think you're going to move through life without these triggers and fears coming up. And so that's why this work is so important. Is like you like you said, it's a daily thing and a reminder how to process that information, because you're going to leave your house and you're going to meet someone who tells you something, or the way someone said a word or whatever it is going to trigger you.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't have the tools to compartmentalize that and move on, like that could send you spiraling, right? It could
I think it used to a year ago. It used to absolutely send me spiraling.
Yeah.
And now I recognize that I want to spiral, to be honest. Like I recognize that there's this urge to like lean into that fear. And instead I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, you know? But it's not just, no, I'm not doing that once. It's like a whole day of, no, we're not doing that, you know? And like my morning meditation is, we're not doing that today, Beck. You know, we're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So what are we going to replace that with? Gratitude for healing.
Yeah.
Immense gratitude for healing. And I just feel different. And yeah, that's that.
Proud of you, baby. You're just, honestly, it's so incredible to see like how far we both have come from having Frankie in the hospital room, fantasizing about the day where she's, you know, walking, carrying her stuffy, blah, 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 talking. Like we both have had those visions, and we're basically here. And, you know, we're going to continue to do this together. Love you.
Love you. I feel like I've been really emotional lately. I don't know why. Yeah. Could you get me one of those? I can get it. I think, to be honest, sometimes it does hit me like, oh, I love life. I love being Frankie's mom. And yeah, like I think some people think we're like toxically positive or something. It's like, I still come up against all of it all day, every day almost, you know? But it's like less and less, and I'm like lowering the volume to all of that fear. And that's my practice of staying happy and healthy. And yeah, she's just the coolest kid ever. She's the coolest kid ever. I love her so much. Okay, there's so many questions, but I feel like we've probably been going for a while. So this one says, super not on brand, but money, any retirement planning, like what are we doing? I mean, it's kind of interesting to just, I don't know. I feel like we don't have traditional jobs. We don't have retirement. And like for a long time, we weren't making money. And then we found a financial advisor to help us invest, because we do need to have a plan for when we're not doing this anymore. Or,
well, I think it's interesting. We could go into the fact that we're continuing to make risks and invest in businesses. Like, you know, this, I saw one of the classic things of like, you know, the easiest way, you're not going to build wealth by saving your money.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how you build wealth, but you got to spend it. And we're not afraid to do that. So like, you know, we're on the hook for a lot of rent here, but we're spending that for this lifestyle in Toronto to get the guests, to grow the show, to have a place to shoot content for Habit. Like, you know, we're investing heavy into Habit this year, right? We're bringing in like VP level people to help run and you know, do the marketing, and we've got agencies on payroll now for running Google ads.
This
and like,
is like, sorry to cut you off.
yeah, I don't know if that's, I think people find money interesting, but like, I guess my point is, yeah, we don't have like a secure pension. We are investing
And instead of
into our
securing
businesses,
that, we're like,
and
let's
hopefully
double
we sell
down
the
on business.
businesses and we can,
That's
you know,
sort
retire
of the big
one day.
retirement plan, is to have a company like Habit that we can sell one day. And this is to show you why you should never read comments. I was going to fix something on Habit's website. Oh, you showed me that like SEO wise we weren't coming up or something. So I type in drink Habit and there's a Reddit thread. Does anybody buy Eamon and Beck's Habit? Not that I want everyone now to go to the Reddit thread, but so many people are like, why do YouTubers want to start a company? Like, nobody's ever going to buy this tea. It was just like all this negativity about like, and then you immediately go like, who do I think I am? Like, why do we have a tea company? Why am I doubling down and investing more into it? And it's like, don't freaking read the comments. Just don't read it.
And just to be clear, I feel like stuff can just get taken so out of context. But like when we wrote that Habit sells for 100 million, like in the last video, I just don't want people to think like we're money hungry trying to like sell the company for 100 million as like our main focus. Like, of course, that's great and that will happen and we're trying to manifest that. But we're building Habit. We're offering products that we genuinely want to drink ourselves and offer to the world. Like, I'm so proud of the tea and that we're able to deliver it at this price point with sustainable packaging. And like what we're doing is more than just trying to build a business. It's like we're offering like this new product that's coming out, which I can't tell you, is like there is a gap in that market, right? Like, and people are going to be stoked and it's going to help people. And
so does Real Talk. And so does like the community building aspect that we want to lean into more. So anyways, this is again,
and sorry, and just to bring that, just to like do that sales pitch a little further, is like, and then by building a brand around human connection and you know, offering rad products at an affordable price, then eventually it will sell because it's going to become, you know, attractive to, you know, the right buyer. Anyway, that was, I don't know if I'm telling you or myself.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I know, we're having like our own therapy. I think it's just a daily conversation, and I feel like because we're home and we're giving pause to like, okay, taxes are due, it's like accounting time, it's like a good time to reflect, like, where do we want to put our energy, where do we want to, and the craziest thing is, as much as sometimes we feel a little spread thin, we are so excited about everything. I'm so excited about the pod, I'm so excited about YouTube, I'm so excited about, and we're so grateful for it all. So it's like, I don't know, we are gonna figure it out, we're gonna do it all. And yeah, I mean, I think it's so important that we do shift our structure within the house, because we do have one email and we get all these different alerts popping up of this invoice is due, this tea is held in customs, you know, this thumbnail is uploaded, you know, all these, and then you've got all these different things to do, but they're also like different compartments. And I hear people talk about this a lot. It's like, you can't, your brain physically cannot jump that much in a day. And so for me, it's about trying to structure that more of like, okay, Thursdays are like Habit days where I'm going to sit and like, you know, focus on just, of course there's different buckets within Habit, but at least it's one freaking company. Yeah. I can't jump from the podcast to the YouTube to the
all
tea
within
company.
Like minutes sometimes.
Within
like
seconds.
We'll be like having dinner and you're like, did you pay that invoice yet? And I'm like, baby. Like, I don't think we knew why it was so hard for us to operate, but that's why,
it's
right?
really
It's like
hard.
the compartment thing is so important for us. So yeah. That was a really big tangent on, do we have retirement savings? I guess the answer is we don't.
Well, we do.
Really,
We invest into the stock market. We have a guy who does the money stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he's been pretty good. He's able to get like 20% returns.
Pretty good. I think that's fantastic. I don't think it's very normal.
I mean, it's a good year.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like every year you're going to get that.
Yeah.
But that's incredible. And if we just continue to do our thing, and then The answer is no. Like, we don't have like a job where in 50 years we're gonna get paid no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think if we continue to offer great products, and
I think if we just keep being authentic too, and we follow our hearts, which sounds like non-businessy, but it's just the truth. Like, follow your heart, and you'll have the energy for the work that needs to be done for the thing if you have your heart.
I also want to get back to that mindset of like, look, if we ran out of money, we'd build it back. And I do feel like that's lost a bit, because I was really like confident on that. It's lost a bit since I had kids. You know, I always said the sandwich shop thing, like I'll just go and sell sandwiches. But like, fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See, my brain still goes back to I'd go get a job. Like if we had enough, if we had our family and kids and stuff, and then we were like, oh, we have no money, I could go get a job. I don't want to, but like, I think we talked about it in another episode, but my girlfriends asked me today if we had talked about like family planning and if we wanted more kids. And I think that's why I came into this pod a little emotional, because like, I feel like we're at such a great place with Frankie right now, and I'm loving this stage. And I get why people try to get pregnant around like this time, you know? And if I had that and that was my path, I would want that too. And anyways, or like, part of me wishes that for me, and then it's like, but Frankie's our blessing, and be grateful for what you have if you want to attract anything new. So you have to stay in that place. So I'm just like working through that. To be honest, I used to spend my meditation solely on my healing, and now it's like I'm so healed that I'm now pregnant. Like, honestly,
You're gonna grow your ovaries back? You been working on that?
I'm not sure
Like, what's the limit here,
internet's
baby?
ready for that.
Fuck it.
I'm not sure how that will play out. I just don't know, you know? And now that I'm at that stage where like I think I'd really love another kid, it's just kind of like facing our truth and being okay with that and happy with that and grateful for what we have, because we have an amazing kid and we have embryos and
we have a community. Love you guys. I bet you someone out there would carry.
Oh,
shout out to all the surrogates.
Wow, I had never even thought about that. That would be so powerful.
We could do like 3 or 4 at once.
I guess like that's the whole thing.
Could you imagine? What would you call that? Would they be triplets?
And
They'd be like engineering triplets.
Yeah. Well, didn't I tell you the story? I know someone.
Should we do that?
I don't think so.
That would be so fun.
You almost broke with one baby.
Yeah, we'll get help.
I don't want to help.
Imagine how cute they'd be all lined up. Frankie's just like, ah! Throwing spaghetti at him.
Yeah.
It'd be chaos.
Yeah. I know of a woman. She's a fertility doctor, and she has a partner. They're lesbians, and they were struggling to conceive, like for the IVF to work or whatever. And then they both implanted at the same time, being like hopeful for one, because they both couldn't do it. And then they ended up having triplets. The one became 2, so it was twins. And then, so both of the wives, what I think about.
Wait, is that possible? We have embryos. Can they split again?
I think so.
Really?
I think so, because that's how they ended up with the twins.
Whoa. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Should I look it up?
Sure. I think IVF, it doesn't, like, it's the same thing, because they're only a 5-day-old embryo as like a frozen embryo. And the splitting must happen. I think I have looked this up. The splitting must happen at day 4 or 5.
Hey, can an embryo split into twins or triplets?
Embryo can split to form twins or triplets. This typically happens within the first couple of weeks after fertilization.
Yeah, so
identical twins occur when one embryo splits into 2. Triplets can occur if the embryo splits into 3, or from a combination of splitting and separate fertilization.
Could you imagine if we did 3 at once and they all became triplets?
Well, that wouldn't probably result in a full-term pregnancy. You can't legally implant more than one in Canada either.
No, I know. But we'd be 3 different surrogates.
3 different surrogates.
Of course.
I think, like, if I'm just being like super open, honest, vulnerable, it would be very challenging for me to not be able to carry my baby. So I'd have to, I just guess we're just at this phase of like really needing to have these conversations, because I think of like how much guilt I carried about not being able to breastfeed, and then like not being able to carry is like 9 months of this connection, and not only the guilt, but I just I want that so deeply. Anyways.
It's going to happen, baby. I really do think it's going to happen. I think
Aw.
we both need to make a decision on whether we would want to go ahead and do that for you, for like plant them into you. Because ultimately I don't think the doctor is going to give you like a very clear answer. They're probably going to advise against it, you know, because estrogen peaks and your cancer was fueled by estrogen and all that old science tech. I think we're going to make the decision soon.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But once again, like, there's no pressure. I'm here for it. I'm so happy and grateful for our little girl.
Me too.
It is interesting that I think maybe the God does give you that really fun, like it, you know, like we were talking about, like, of course you need to endure that struggle to appreciate this fun phase. Cause I can't imagine getting it more fun. I was just talking to Ramos and he's like, dude, it gets more fun. But they give you this like sweet spot almost where it's like you start thinking about more kids.
But I think the sweet spot just gets sweeter. Like everyone today too was saying, it just gets better. And of course it comes with new and different challenges as they get older. But I just think, I feel so grateful. We're going to jump into real talk because that has just been what we've done for season 3. It would be weird to sign off season 3 without it. Wow. Okay. First card. I'm not even going to like look any further.
I'm going first card, but second question. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I didn't even read the second question. Ooh, that's way better.
Wow.
They're both so good. The real talk is so good. What are you holding on to that's holding you back? Wow.
What am I holding on to that's holding me back? I mean, first thing came to my head was maybe like just the identity of who I am, right? Like we've talked about how powerful your thoughts are, and maybe just this identity of I kind of put myself in like, I do this and I don't do this as far as like work goes. And I'm just thinking about, you know, shifting that of you're just being more unlimited with my beliefs of what I can do. Whether it's like responding to an email or banking or all these things that I just hate doing. Or even just like being more in the weeds of the business, like on all those typical jobs that I would like just stay out of. Maybe now that you're backing out, I'm backing in. I don't know.
Love it.
I'm trying to reframe this idea of ADD too, right? Like it's not my identity. I can sit and focus. And you know, it's really helpful having a space where I come to. I was like so productive the other day. So it is amazing how you go through life with this idea. Maybe it was like a JK teacher or a grade 5 teacher who told you, oh no, Eamon, you can't sit in that chair. You can't focus. And then you just internalize that at that young age and it becomes your identity. And I think if we all shifted that, we would realize, oh no, you know, I can play basketball. I can run a long distance. I can, you know, whatever the example is.
That was so powerful. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
You gonna ask me?
This one's interesting just because I don't know what your answer is.
Ooh, okay.
Who is the most positive influence in your life and why?
Frankie.
Wow.
Frankie is like the reason. No, I mean, I'm doing all of the inner work for me for sure. But like, I am so aware that she is my mirror and she is learning from me, and just the way her vocabulary is like going and how much she's learning. It's like she's this little reflection of me. And if I want her to have like the best shot at everything in life and stuff, I have to just be the best version of me. So that's such a positive influence in my life. She also just reminds me how to slow down, how to enjoy everything, how to stop and quite literally like look at seashells, smell the flowers, like wow, flower. I'm like, yes, kid.
Yeah.
Wow, flower, you know? It's just the most positive relationship I have. And the other night I was putting her down and she looked at me and said, I love you. I love you. I just can't describe what that does to me. She's just the most positive influence in my life. It's the best. What did you think I was going to say?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that answer, obviously. I agree.
It's like hard not to just like to always talk about her or being a mom. And I know people out there are like, this is not a parenting podcast, but this is just our life. It's just the truth for me. So that's it, guys. End of season 3. Thank you so much for being here with us. It has meant the world. And I hope that has been received by you and you know what that means to us. Season 4, we're looking at potentially fall. So I know that feels like a big break. If you're like, no, don't do that, let us know. Let us know in the comments when you'd like to see it back. But I think giving us that space would allow us to like line up guests a little better. We want to do them in person, which obviously comes with its logistical challenges. So yeah.
Any advice you have for the show? Any way we can
Yes.
try and make it better?
Yes.
Is it too regular? Like as every week too often? I'm wondering if like we give it more space to breathe and we can like pull clips and promote it more. Would that, because like not everyone has 2 hours every week to listen to a show.
Are the episodes too long? Are there like,
Should we edit them
personally,
more?
I like a raw, unedited pod, but I hear that some people it's too long for them, which I get. But then it becomes a little more edited and we take out those pauses that might make you feel like you're just hanging with us in this space. So we'd love your feedback as long as it's constructive and like from your heart. Please share. And we'll see you with a new episode really, really soon. It'll go by like this, summer's here. We're getting married. It's going to be so fun. And then we'll be back with new eps with some pretty epic guests. So thank you guys again for being here for the ride. We love you so much.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Also, I love you.
Love you. We launched a simple card game and it's genuinely changing people's lives. Have you ever had a wrong first impression of someone?
Yes.
The reviews are unbelievable. Look at Lori. Have known these girls for 20 years and discovered so much we didn't know about each other.
Wow.
20 years of friendship and you didn't know? That's cool. That's really cool.
Let me read one. The amount of genuine conversations we've had in our home, even with our 4-year-old, has grown tremendously. Please start working on a refill deck with new questions we have a feeling we'll need/want them.
Refills coming soon?
Read another.
I want everyone in my life to buy Real Talk.
Could you imagine? Ooh.
I love Real Talk. I love that there's always an easier and harder question on every card. We always end up answering both. Also, we've tried a competitor game while we were waiting for Real Talk to be released, and Real Talk's questions are better.
People are going to think these are fake. That is like
I
the best
know.
review I've ever heard. The perfect party edition. I love this game. It's perfect to carry. So many perfects.
It's just so perfect.
To carry around in my purse as a deck of cards. Maybe we do a travel edition. On the go.
We pulled out Real Talk with family members. It helped us talk and connect, brought tears to our eyes, formed greater bonds.
I'm already crying because I know the answer.
Real Talk, man. It gets me every time. I'm always crying in this segment.
Wow.
Are you missing Real Talk from your life? Go to drinkhabit.com and get yours now.
Good job.
That is a wrap on season 3. Again, just thank you all for being here, for being a part of this community. We're so, so grateful. So, so excited for what's to come. And our beautiful producer, Emma, got a few words of love from all of you that we're just going to play to wrap the season.
Nice.
Are you ready? This is from Anna.
My name is Anna and I'm from Kentucky. And I just want to say that my favorite part of season 3 have been the guests that you have had on, just because the connection that you have to these people is just wonderful, and I strive to have that connection with so many people like you do. And yeah, just the way that you have these amazing conversations and you talk about such deep things, but in the most loving and caring way is so beautiful. And I just want to say my last part is that as a senior in high school, an 18-year-old girl going into this world, you guys have brought me so much comfort and joy, especially in my mornings, my drive to school when it's dark and I'm just so tired. You guys have made it so much more fun and joyful. And I love Beck and Eamon. You guys are amazing. And yeah, have a wonderful day.
What a positive.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you, Anna.
Anna, you're so cool. I can't believe you're only 18 and you're like listening to such deep combos. And like you said, I just feel so blessed that everyone who's come on has been willing and open to share their hearts. It's been such a fun way to connect with people. Our girlfriend Sabrina was over yesterday and she said to me like, oh yeah, you don't do surface level. And I was like, oh wow, I guess I don't. Like I never would have like labeled myself as that because I feel like I can talk about the weather if people really want, but that's like not who I am. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to add?
Nah, Anna, that was really sweet.
Okay, this one is from Chelsea.
My favorite moment of the Reroot Season 3 has been anytime Beck has had the conversation about being off of social media. That's because it inspired me to create a bucket list item for myself to have less doom scrolls this year. And to be very honest, it has been one of the most life-changing things that I've ever done. For the past few years, I've been wondering why I'm not as productive or feel like I don't have enough time for friends. Like, is something wrong with me? But after this, I honestly feel like I have lifted out of a fog, and I just want to thank you all so much for everything that you're doing, the conversations that you're having. Everything is so honest, and I just really appreciate you guys, and I'm so grateful because my life has gotten so much better. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Aw, love you too, Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, I wasn't expecting to like a social media thing to. Wow. I am feeling inspired to like do a call-in show or something. I want to like talk
do that
to
too.
these people.
I think that would be amazing.
Maybe like season 4, episode 1 is a call-in show. I don't know.
Big phone right here. We can tell people when we're recording. They can just call.
Oh, like literally call
Live.
like old
It's gotta be
school
live.
phone
Yeah.
though. That's hilarious. I love it. Thank you so much for saying all of those sweet things. Okay, this is Kelsey now.
Hi, this is Kelsey from Ontario. I've been a follower since, I think, the Hello Mexico series, and you've always been one of my favorite couples to watch. I was pumped to see the Reroot Season 3 announcement. It has been so cool to watch you guys grow and change, and in a way, I feel like I have been growing with you. While I've certainly had a different journey, I feel so aligned with your content. You two have always been a big inspiration for me, and for the past 6 years, if someone were to ask me who inspires me, my first answer is always Beck. I've been loving the topics of parenting and childbirth, even though I'm still a few years out from that stage in my life. Thank you for diving deep and for encouraging me to have deeper conversations and connections with everyone I meet.
That's really cute because I think she wrote that out. Yeah. Thank you, Kelsey. It was very sweet.
I think to hear that I would be someone's answer when I don't know them, and like that just felt like I actually really am making an impact. And sometimes it's really easy to forget that we're doing that by just sitting here and chatting, but it's not just sitting here and chatting, right? Like we are being so open, and that can be so scary and it can hurt when the internet doesn't understand, you know, but it's so important to remember that Kelsey's out there. I love you, Kelsey. Thank you for that sweet, sweet message. That means so much to me, obviously. Yeah, thank you. Okay, one more.
Hey, Eamon and Beck. My name is Samantha. I'm located in sunny South Florida. And honestly, I just love how raw and honest you guys are, and emotions high up there. I don't know if you hear my little 1-year-old, but she associates your names now with little Frankie. Every time she sees your videos on YouTube, she just starts screaming, baby, baby. Aww. I missed having you guys on YouTube, so I'm glad you're back. But I truly love the podcast and how raw you guys keep it. You guys are so enjoyable to listen to any time of the day when you're on the road. And I truly am so happy to see how healthy Beck is looking. And it's so good to see her back up on Reroot. And I truly love you guys. I can't wait to hear more.
Aw, thanks, Samantha. So sweet. I can't believe everyone just took the time to sit, like, anyways, thank you all so much. That was an incredible season, and it's only the beginning of what is going to be. Okay. See you in season 4.
Peace. We gotta need a new outro for season 4.
Yeah.
Peace.
We'll work on it. We have a few months.